Schenker from Scorpions, U.F.O, MSG and Temple of Rock.
So basically, my guitars, they kind of tell a little story, it seems, if I look back. When I was the end with U.F.O around, the Strangers in the Night era, that was the beginning of my, I think after I left U.F.O, I started the black and white type of guitar. And that's when I guess, with the Scorpions, after Love Drive, I toured a little bit, and that was my first appearance with the black and white guitar. I also had a black and white outfit with U.F.O already, so that was already the beginning of that black and white thing, which kind of also, it seems to be like, connected to Yin and Yang. And so basically, it all started off with this kind of a look. So when I joined Dean, and we started to basically, design a guitar based on my past. And so, the first one that we came out with was like a black and white guitar, and basically it kind of, this guitar, the retro, didn't come out, was not the first one that came out. It was a black and white that I don't have here right now, but it went from, so basically that is the what do you call it, the external, the look of a guitar. And then of course, as I have new guitars designed, the looks also change. So there is the playing. First of all, the guitars, the Dean guitars are very, very solid. They play amazing everywhere where I can't probably hear it now, but wherever I play, it sings and it sounds great. And then also that the strings go, here into they connect it to the body and go into this. And because the guitars are very solid and very strong, so everything just seems to be very, very solid about it, and it plays well. And so as I bring out guitars, model after model, also the looks change based on my present, where I'm at in life. And so it seems like we go from the black and white to the, let's say, what was the next, I think it was like the color guitar. This one, I kind of, again, like Dean comes up with certain types of, different pickups and the different ways of frets and whatever, and I just play it and then approve it and from sound and the way it plays, etc. But then I come up, then I wanted a color guitar. So I said to Elliot, I feel like color. I want a guitar with lots of color. And so, that seemed to be very opposite of the black and white guitar, which means kind of, black and white. When I started MSG, it was all about, for me, like personal development and musical experimentation, etc., etc. So, it's somehow, that's when the black and white started. But by, 20 years later, or when was this guitar that came out around, a couple of years ago, probably. Yeah. So I developed lots of colors, I guess, and so then I also realized that then this Yin and Yang came to the foreground. It was an observation that I was very much, having this Yin and Yang here. It's all about black and white, Yin and Yang. From the philosophical, or like from the, is it philosophical point of view? There is like, how can I say this? Spiritual. From the spiritual point of view, when I look at life from the spiritual point, it's like Yin and Yang has been basically there all this time. You know, as while I was living, there was an attraction to the black and white. There has to be a meaning to that. I don't know why it would be in the foreground so much. And then my brother Rudolf, he also plays the black and white. And then I realized that he is part of the yin and yang, and that he is a horse and I'm a rat, and he is the opposite pole, which is like yin and yang, you know. And like he is the rat, I'm the horse. I have a lot that he hasn't got, and he has a lot of what I haven't got a lot of. And so there may be a very deep connection on the or a story by the end of our lives that will reveal a very interesting kind of why it was the way it was, you know, because people may wonder why Rudolf is playing a black and white guitar, I play a black and white guitar, he has all of a sudden blonde hair, I have blonde hair, you know, he's opening his mouth like this, we're doing both the same thing, you know. People may wonder what on earth is going on there. Sometimes maybe people don't even know anymore who is who, because I've been in the Scorpions, he has been in the Scorpions, and you know, so at the end of the day, you know, if I look at it, it's a yin and yang thing. And so also, as I keep, then of course, then there was the Strangers in the Night. I wanted to have a guitar that reflected that you know, the audience, the fans. And so, you know, I also wanted to play Strangers in the Night material when I started with Pete Way and Herman Rebel, when we put together a touring project. And so I wanted to have a guitar that reflects, you know, the Strangers in the Night period. And so, you know, we had this design, and then I added to it, because at that point I started Temple of Rock, and my program was my most popular music from past and present. And so, you know, so I kind of, the original look is different. I just added my own little things to it, like Strangers in the Night and U.F.O.
Where did
and
you get the
Scorpions.
sticker?
I did it myself, yeah. And MSG, you know, and I just put some Scotch tape over it, and so, you know, that's what I felt like doing with this guitar. And they all play, and then I had like, you know, I think I saw something somewhere that inspired me to put the nails in there, and so, you know, anyway, it's just like, it's again, it's an expression, you know.
Yes.
This one really reflects.
Yeah, and then, you know,
I think you'll see
and then at some point, you know, I felt like silver, you know, and so it kind of maybe, you know, reflects, you know, of who I am today, you know. I kind of, you can see yourself in
I
it,
think so.
and, you know.
The fans can see themselves in it
Yeah.
when you're playing, right?
So maybe that is a step towards rounding it all up, you know. It's the next level, and so you can look at all my guitars. It's basically reflects my personal development and musical development. It's just, you know, and like I said, people ask me, you know, why don't you write a book? You know, I don't want to write a book until I'm close to the end of the rope, so I can write it all in one
writing
go.
a book right now too, right?
Right, but
Yeah.
you know, I have a lot of things, you know, you know, but I always say at the end of life, you know, I will understand what it was all about. I'm still puzzled, you know, but I'm starting to understand little bits and pieces. So it's very fascinating and interesting, you know. So and I keep saying like, wow, I wonder what's around the next corner. I can't wait to see, you know. So basically, you know, it's too early for a book because we're still in the middle of a story, you know. And so, you know, I keep my energy for, you know, when I'm old and have a long beard, and that's when I'm sitting back and look at it all, and or, you know, when I start understanding, when I feel like, wow, I feel like I'm really understanding, you know. When that time has come, that's when I write a book.
Michael, thank you so much, man.